What's up, y'all? It's KingBritneyChanel. You already know, and I am back with another video. So today we're going to discuss Monique. She opened up on an interview that she did, I guess, with Comedy Hype. It is on YouTube, so y'all definitely should check it out. But I'm going to give my commentary and my thoughts on this. So stay tuned and watch, and I hope y'all like, comment, subscribe, and I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Okay, honey, so before we get started, definitely make sure y'all hit that notification bell so that YouTube can recommend my videos to you, because I don't want y'all to miss not a moment of my lives, premieres, videos, and more. So definitely make sure you hit all notifications for my channel. Now let's talk about Monique, honey. Monique sat down on the channel Comedy Hype and did like a sit-down interview, and she opened up, honey, and gave us a lot of thoughts and things to reflect on. Monique, for those of you who may know Monique or may not know, Monique is a comedian, actress, and she was very successful and very talented comedian, okay? And let me just give y'all a little backstory of how we got to some places. Y'all know Monique did the movie Precious. The movie Precious did, phenomenal. And then there was, I guess, issues after that movie Precious. Monique felt like she didn't get her just due after Precious, and things were said back and forth between who's who that is in the entertainment business, and then now we're here. One of those people was Steve Harvey, who she felt like was her brother, and it kind of gave her a perspective about what is going on in Hollywood and that sort of thing. So she sat down with Comedy Hype, and they released these interviews where she talks about these different situations that she's had, with Steve Harvey, with Whoopi Goldberg, and these different people who she has encountered after this whole Precious situation. So let me just talk about her thoughts that she had with the Steve situation. I'm gonna say, let me just talk about the parts on the Steve video that I agree with. Now, y'all remember that she went on Steve's show when Steve had that show, the Steve Harvey show. She sat down with Steve, and y'all know that Steve had that foolishness that he was doing, talking about the money game and all that other stuff that he was talking about. And Monique was like, it's about the integrity. And she talked about leaving a legacy for the babies and people that's coming behind her. Now let me tell y'all the part about what Monique said. You should be an integral person, and you should want to leave a legacy for these children and the people that come behind you. She mentioned that it was heartbreaking for her that Whoopi was on The View all those years, and she was not getting paid her just due, according to Monique. And then basically, to sum it up, Whoopi was like, kind of, according to Monique, because I don't know, I wasn't there, but according to Monique, Whoopi kind of was like, don't worry about the ones that's coming behind you. You need to worry about yourself. It's kind of similar to what Steve was saying, like, you got to play the game so, you can get your money type of situation. And that's how this integrity versus the money game situation, that's where that originated from. Let me tell you about the part that Monique said that I agree with. Now, I agree with Monique that you should be leaving a legacy for the ones who come after you, because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to leave an inheritance for your children. And if you're looking at the Most High as the example, he left an inheritance for his children, the ones that belongs to him. And that's what you're supposed to do. And I feel like a lot of these older generation people, and this is not all, but I'm going to just have to speak on it, they do a lot of fast talking and talk about what the youth should be doing, and talk about how the youth is out of hand, and they talk about this generation. Well, y'all did not create an avenue, unfortunately, for, or something that these kids could rely on, or so they could have ways and outlets to be constructive. They don't have, the original community does not have wealth. Okay, after integration, that's exactly what that means. Integration, and then all of these other things. At first, you had, a group of hardworking original people who they had their own practices, own, stores and all of that other stuff. Y'all know certain stuff in history happened. It is what it is. But I'm talking about currently, when you look at a lot of these grown folks, look at some of these grown folks that's on YouTube right now, going back and forth with people on the internet. They're not uplifting the community. They're not showing the youth the way. They do a lot of talking about how the youth is doing this, that, and the third. But how you think it got to this point? You don't have nowhere for these youths to just go to, get up out the street. You don't have no wealth to pass them so that they're not in the street looking for wealth. You haven't showed them how to be entrepreneurs. And this, like I said, this is not everybody, because I have an original mother that raised me to be an entrepreneur, to not work for no man, and to figure out how to make a better way for me and mine. And all of this brother sister type of stuff, I'm not into that. If you an original person and you doing righteous things and righteous work, I'll support you. But some people do not deserve your support. And I'm going to get into why I'm saying that. Because it seems like with this Monique situation, it's like they want you, and this is where I disagree with Monique. They want you to support them when it benefits them. And I like Monique, but I'm going to have to say that. Like, don't watch Netflix. But if Netflix was giving you the type of money that you wanted, or these other places that you want to do business with was giving you the type of money, you would be cool with what some of these places is doing. Like, let's just be honest about it. I'm tired of people pulling out that card to want to and to want to pander to people for album sales, to sell their tickets to whatever, and they don't really, I'm not talking about her in particular, but I've noticed that a lot of celebrities do this. A lot of celebrities, they will conveniently, when it's convenient for them, pull out that card and want to make it a community issue. When the bottom line is, because I've said this, I'll put the link to the video where I talked about Monique and Steve. Steve, what he said was not necessarily a lie. If you're gonna be a part of what they doing, or you want to work in their arena, you have to play by their rules. Unfortunately, your ancestors that came before you did not make the right provisions for you to stay on top and leave a legacy. They did not leave you a legacy, and things were stolen, things they fell out of grace. It is what it is. We're dealing with it, but it's the truth. We're dealing with the truth here. And they didn't leave anything for you. So these people, they have developed an arena for themselves, their rules, their way. If you want to make money in their arena that they've set up for them and their children, and then in their whatever that they got going on, you have to play by their rules. If not, get up out of there. Because if it's about the integrity, then you shouldn't even want to be a part of that in the first place. If you felt like they're disrespecting your people, honestly, I'm just keeping it all the way real with y'all. If she was so real about the integral part, then you shouldn't even want to be a part of that, period. Because that was made for them, and y'all keep wanting to be a part of. Because integrate just means to put together. Y'all keep trying to beg to be a part of this type of stuff that was never made for you to succeed in the first place. So I don't understand where the confusion is coming from, that they're not treating you fair when they've set up what they wanted for their legacy and their inheritance for their children and who they want to succeed. You have to create your own avenue in your own lane for yourself. And if the people that came before you would have done that for you, then you would not be crying right now about, I'm not getting paid the same, whatever. It's their arena. They can set the rules. You cannot come in somebody else's territory and set the rules. And this is that's the only thing that I'm saying about the Monique situation, to where I think Monique is getting it confused. Now Monique brought up the thing in her interview with Comedy Hype, where she said, you know, he tried to play the game and it ended up being the same result. But guess what? He agreed to whatever he agreed to. Whatever his business contracts or whatever, he agreed to that. So he agreed to play the baseball game or whatever game it is in that arena, to be able to make an avenue in that arena, and he agreed to that. But if you want to be fair, start something for yourself. Why haven't any of these entertainers or these, because I'm just tired of the complaints. Y'all keep wanting to mess with these folks. You have not created no industry for yourself. You have not created any of that for yourself. And then you keep begging to be a part or to wait for somebody out of their arena to give you a check or to give you a leg up when they've been telling you the same thing from the go. I don't know how else to explain this. Like, you cannot go up in somebody else's territory and tell them how they're going to treat you, what they're going to pay you. That's like these people that get on these jobs to where you think you're going to go in their organization and tell them how much they're going to pay you and that they need you and all of this other stuff, and try to make that a community issue. You want a job. Job means just over broke. You want a job. You want to work for these people. Therefore, if you are the hired help, you don't get to make the rules. It's that simple. And I agree with Monique that these people need to leave a legacy and think about the people that's coming behind them. So that's why you see, you know, like I said, I have an original mother that taught me, be an entrepreneur. Do not be at the will of employment to where you just disposable to somebody or at the will of somebody. You got to make a way for yourself. You know, God will make a way out of no way for you, and he'll give you witty ideas and all of that to think about as well, so that you know, it'll make room, and he'll have you, you know, be able to live a good life from that. And we got to get back to that, because all this begging for something or begging to be treated fairly, and the people have told you time and time again, they're not for, like, your best interest is not going to be their best interest. When you going up into these stores and you spending the people, and look at the people in the original community, and they spending all their money on Gucci and all this other stuff, they're making sure their grandchildren and great grandchildren have a legacy and a line. They're doing that. But you're not teaching the people in your community to do that. You're teaching them to beg them for money or a position. Make an avenue for yourself. Nobody is going to represent you better than you going to represent yourself, because you are going to put your best interest first. They don't have to. And don't no man, like my mama say, don't no man in this world owe you nothing but to love you. It's simple as that. You got to make a way for yourself. You know, by the grace of God, he'll allow you to be able to figure out, and he'll make a way for you, and he'll give you witty ideas and inventions and that sort of thing. But they're doing what they're supposed to do. Unfortunately, that's what they're supposed to do. Now, I do believe it's going to be a time where the wealth is you know, wealth transference is going to happen. I do believe it's going to be a time for that, for all of the people that's doing they dirt and they done whatever. It's going to be transferred over to the righteous. So I do believe in that. But as far as what she said about what Whoopi said, you know, those people, and I don't understand why these people look to these entertainers anyway. The entertainers are not focused on you. They're focused on their best interest. They're not focused on the community or any of that. They're focused on getting a bag. And that's why you heard old boy say it's the money game, because unfortunately, people don't realize that it's not just about chasing a bag. First of all, people that's really wealthy, they're making money while they're sleeping. They're not chasing anything. The money is coming to them. So the wrong ideology anyway. You heard him up there talking about don't get no, people ain't getting money because they sleeping and doing all this stuff, when that was just straight foolish what Steve was up there saying. Because people that's rich, honey, they have people that are employed working for them, working for their benefit and working on their behalf. They have figured out how to make money while they sleep, while they are asleep. Excuse me. The only people who have not figured that out yet is the people that's still begging people to treat them fairly. Like, are you serious? Like, when has that ever been a thing? You beg to be apart or together and then confused that they're looking out for their best interest. Why? I don't understand how we are here. And she talked about all these other people like Eartha Kitt and all of these people. I look up to the Dorothy Dandridges of the world. In a world full of Marilyns, honey, I look up to the Dorothy Dandridge like woman. The Lena Hornes and the different people. I look up to those type of people too. But at the end of the day, the immediate people that I'm looking up to are the people that I see that are original people, that are entrepreneurs, and I'm seeing them. I'm seeing people become millionaires. I'm not seeing people sit around like crying and like, oh, they're not paying me my just due. And the reality is, people are looking out for their number one and their best interest. They're looking to leave a legacy for their own kids. So that's why you see they'll, come and make money off your talent, but they're leaving a legacy for their own kids. You the only one that has not figured out how to put yourself in a position to get you above water. I don't understand why that is. And what she said was correct. What Monique said was correct. That the reason why that happens is that you have all of those people agreeing to just get paid that amount of money. That is correct what she said. But guess what? They're agreeing to do that. If it was that important and they felt the way, because somebody had mentioned to me about basketball and all that, and how football and that, what's that Kaepernick guy and all of that other stuff. Listen, if those people was tired of playing and tired of them people playing them, they would stop. So I ain't seen nobody stop yet. So I don't cry when these entertainers is like, oh, I'm not getting treated fairly, because it's like you agreed to the terms of your contract. You agreed to those terms. When these people is signing, these record deals and the rest of that stuff, they're agreeing to these contracts. It's that simple. I never will forget Master P talking about that. Like, he's like, I don't even understand why people go to try to do all them record deals and stuff when the game has changed so much. You could be straight up independent and straight up make money for yourself and straight up figure out how to be an entrepreneur. But these people, they beg for these people literally to be like, yeah, make money for you and yours off my talent. I don't get it. I don't get it. They beg to be you up on TV ain't making no money. Up on TV, the same thing I said about YouTube. You got a whole bunch of views and ain't getting no revenue from that. So it's just like you making somebody else rich and not benefiting out of that. I just don't understand like what type of time these people is on. Maybe and then last video when I said what I said, it was people all up under my comments talking about, oh, you ain't understand what she was saying. I understood exactly. Like, and then that's the thing. Age doesn't mean that your comprehension skills is off. Because the problem is you had these older people making these decisions, and that's why it ain't no community wealth right now for the kids. That's why these kids is out in the street doing what they're doing. That's why these kids haven't figured out, don't go get no Mercedes-Benz Charger or whatever and park it up to the projects. Don't go get that Ferragamo belt and all the rest of that stuff, and you don't have no house or property. Don't worry about looking like you're successful when you need to actually be successful. I don't understand. If y'all hear me pausing because I'm trying to just figure out, are we on the same page? If y'all on the same page with me, let me know down in the comments. But sister girl, like I said, when she talked about her and Whoopi, I felt what she said, because you need to care about your kids and their kids' kids and what the world is going to be like for the generations after you. I try, myself to be like, okay, if it's a young girl watching me, let me show young girls how to be a girl boss in a good way, a positive way. Let me show these people how to make money. Let me show them how to not have to depend on, at will employment and all that other stuff. I try to be that example because somebody gave me that example, and that's what you have to pass down to your kids. See, everybody else get that philosophy. We the only community that don't get that philosophy for some type of reason, because they want the appearance of success, but they don't actually work to be successful in the ways that they need to create generational wealth. The people that have came before have left no generational wealth, and they like to blame it on, circumstances, which that's part to blame, but a part to blame is them as well. I don't just believe in it's just one source is to blame. Decisions were made. I'ma just keep that at that. Decisions were made. Something, unfortunate circumstances happened as well, but decisions were made as well. And we have to just keep that in mind. It was her decision and what she negotiated. And like I said, all this integrity and all of this stuff, you agreed to be a part and wanted to be a part of the industry and do the acting and all of that other stuff. And when you realize that, oh, wait a minute, I'm not being treated fairly, did you go and try to start something outside of that? You feel what I'm saying? I'm sure she ain't the first person that was treated unfair or not getting paid the way she wanted. Did you go and create an avenue for yourself outside of that? We can't just do this begging for opportunity and all this other stuff. We can't just continue to do that, because the bottom line, when you agree to work for somebody else, you agreeing to work under their conditions, under their terms, and they're looking out for, number one, their best interest, not yours. And when people get that realization, I feel like they'll be okay. Now, she did move on to talk about, Steve, he decided that which was the right way to move and all of that other stuff, and I guess tried to make the point that he ended up losing anyway. But Steve decided to do what he decided to do. Steve decided that he wanted to be employed the way that he was employed, and it just didn't work out the way that he wanted it to work out. But that typically happens because you don't have generational wealth or you don't own industry, and that's why that sort of stuff happens to you when you're not the owner of networks and stuff like that. That sort of stuff happens all the time. So I didn't understand what her point was. Now, I understood what her issue was with the Whoopi situation. Honey, she done mentioned Leonard, y'all. And because they said Leonard was trying to be an advocate out here. Y'all know who Leonard is. And y'all know what radio show Leonard is on. Leonard, whatever his name is. Honey, I thought that I was tickled when she was talking about him. She also went to talk about how she felt like the men that was original men in that whole industry, she felt like they were very cowardly. And I feel like men today, and I'm not going to say all men, because of course you can't speak on all people, but I do feel like there is a level of where men are just not, and I think it's just because they're just not in a position to be able to say anything, or they feel like if they do say anything, it's a risk of them not being able to feed their family and that sort of stuff. So people, have to respect the fact that, listen, he trying to, like I said, you're going to look out for your best interest for you and yours. Old boy, which is Steve, he wasn't willing to speak up about what she wanted him to speak up about. Oh, she dropped the jewel that he had cut out some of, I guess, their talk or interview or whatever. And I guess it was kind of like alluding to the fact that could have been the cutout scene could have got back to them or something like that, or people that in Hollywood or the industry, whatever, it got back to them, and that could have been a reason, or they alluded that could have been a reason why he lost those shows and all of that. But like I said, those people are looking out for their best interests. I don't understand why we just don't have an understanding of that at this point. Now, I did feel like if Whoopi said that, because I wasn't there, I don't know. If Whoopi said that, that's foul. I do like how she said that Patti LaBelle encouraged her, and the woman before her encouraged her, because you do need encouragement from the people that came before you. Instead of, just always judging the youth in this generation and all of that. And the reason why we don't get anywhere, because there is great selfishness to where people they are only looking out for number one. And we have, like I said, that buckets where people want to pull each other down instead of uplifting, and they don't want to see people. Honey, we just, in the community in which we're in, that is original people, colorful people don't want to see they own people win, unfortunately. I don't know where that came from. It's very they think if they don't click a like on your stuff that you ain't gonna succeed. They think that if they don't support you, it's gonna stop you. You can't stop nothing or curse nothing that the Most High has blessed. So it's just like, when you're happy for other people that's succeeding, God will expand your territory and increase you more and more, because you have sown that seed where you could call on that seed to be, to move in your life, basically. If you sow into other people, like prime example, it's a lady on here, like I said, she do the hair care. I know that her hands is blessed by the Most High. My hair has flourished. I support her business, and I've always gotten my products in a timely fashion, and it's always been quality products. So I continue to buy from her. Now, she don't know that I be buying her products, but I try to sow into her because I know that she has a quality product. I don't mind giving to people that's righteous, people that's doing the right thing. People that's out here trying to make a way, the correct way to make a way for their family and to leave a legacy for the ones that's coming after them. I'm not, people, they'll give into, people in stupidity and all kind of stuff. But like I said, the people in the original community, they don't spend a lot of time teaching their kids entrepreneurship, how to go and get that, how to go and get this type of money. Like I said, I learned a lot from other types of people. Make sure you get these type of grades. I learned this from a woman. She was from India. Make sure you get these type of grades so that you can get these type of scholarships, or learn how to play this type of instrument, learn how to play this type of whatever, or learn this so that you can get this. I learned that from other types of people. It's like a sense of community. And I feel like we're missing that. And I'm over this, we look the same and that means that we're brothers and sisters type of thing. I'm just over that type of thing. I think that people use that for their own benefit. I think people, they like to use that when, prime example. Y'all remember when YP did that documentary on Malcolm X, right? And he kind of mentioned that a certain group of people, they was talking about the TV networks was this, that, and the third. They was talking about how Facebook, I guess they got put off of Facebook and all of that. But it wasn't no problem when they was using Facebook. But now, since they didn't get what they wanted out the deal, like I said, they don't want you to watch Netflix and all of that stuff because they didn't get the deal they wanted. So now they gonna try to make their issue your issue. And like I said, baby, I'm not gonna stop watching Netflix. I'm gonna have my wings with Netflix and all of that. And your issue, because I'm tired of that. Stop trying to make it a community issue and use that card, that card, y'all know what card I'm talking about, to make your personal issues the whole communities. Because I guarantee these people is not out here on the front line when Lil Tay or whoever is in a situation in the community. A lot of these people be talking about, even in this whole church ministry type of thing. Oh, they need this and this and this for the church. But if you go into the communities, it's people starving. It's all this, homelessness and stuff going on. Nah, I'm tired of people trying to make their issues, their personal issues, community issues. Now, I got a lot of respect for Monique. I think Monique is a talented person. But like I said, I kind of feel like a part of this is her personal issues that she's trying to make like people do that like as a way to finesse. Like they want people to just, once you start talking about that brother sister type stuff, I'm automatically looking at you from the side. Stop it. First of all, we're not all the same. We ain't all from the same tribe. And just stop it. Stop it. If it's personal, it's personal. You wanted to be employed by these people. So if you're going to be employed by the people, you have to take the terms in which they're given to you. If not, you got to go and start your own way and avenue for yourself. That's just how I feel about the whole Monique situation. Now, I think Monique is a good actress. I think a lot of people have went on to make a way for themselves. Prime example, when I look at the singer A. Marie went on to do, YouTube. She has a book club and all kind of other stuff. After Tyra, I just watched Impressive talk about, Tyra and Naomi. And Tyra went on to, create her own opportunities and that sort of stuff after certain stuff. So it's like, if you wanted to do certain stuff, you're able to do certain stuff. If you feel like things are unfair, you just have to be willing to make sacrifices for certain stuff. If you feel like integrity and principle is important, then you have to know, if you feel like, that's what's going on, that you're being treated unfair, you have to know that it costs. If you're going to be making noise and all of that, it costs. Unfortunately, it costs. When you tell the truth, it costs. That's why a lot of people don't like to tell the truth, because it costs you something. And that's a price that Monique is having to pay. And my thing is, she's saying all of this integrity stuff. They're not going to change what they're doing for Monique. It's either Monique is going to get into it or get off. Just that's where they're at with that. So I'm glad Monique spoke on her having the part she talked about mental health and that sort of thing too, on the episode that they did about, I think, Leonard or whatever. And she talked about how in the original community, there's these traditions sometimes of dysfunction that a lot of people do not realize are traditions of dysfunction, and we just continue to do these things just because they feel like it's a tradition and they're strong. Like, a lot of people just be strong in their in things that they believe in, even if it's just they come to find out that dysfunctionality is not the actuality for everybody. So as you come to mature and you start to go on your spiritual journey, and God starts to reveal things to you, you will realize that, why am I holding on to a tradition? Like, why am I doing this? Why am I feeling this? And you'll start to let go of the past to be able to move forward. So I was glad that she talked about that. Like, she talked about things being, I guess, therapeutic, and why she started her podcast with her husband and that sort of thing. I thought that was beautiful. So she did open up like a great deal. The part, like, I can't continue. Now, she did mention, that she didn't like, with the whole Oprah situation, that she didn't like that her mom and the brother came on the show, and that was the reason for the Oprah situation. So she did mention that. And it's just like, I want Monique to eventually get to a place to where, okay, what can we do today to move forward? If you want to, act and do all of that stuff and be a part of the industry and all of that, then you're going to have to work under their terms, because it's theirs. It belongs to them. They have made that for them. They've made that to benefit who they wanted to benefit for. And that's just what you're going to have to deal with, because your people did not make provisions for you to have your own, acting studios and the rest of that sort of stuff. So it's like, where do we go from here with this whole situation? The Steve situation, honey, I think they just wanted to just be like, Steve tried to play them games, and they kind of basically said it was like a wake-up call. And I'm not going to say what word they used, but they said it was his wake-up call to realize, what it was. But I don't think it's what it was. It's just that y'all don't have no generational wealth or industry, and so those people is letting y'all know, like, you're not gonna come up in here and set the rules. That's really what that is. And you know, equality, because people be hollering out they want equality when you really should want equity. Equality is somebody have a bag of chips and you begging to get some of the chips. When equity is they have a bag of chips, you have a bag of chips. They have a community, you have a community. They got a bank, you got a bank. That's what you should want instead of equality. Like, people be talking about they want justice. I be wanting judgment, because judgment is divine. It's final. It's something that is going to be fair. Justice, you know, it has a tendency to not always come through. And we'll say that. What are y'all thoughts on the whole Monique sitting down with Comedy Hype? I felt like it was good that Monique got to open up and tell her side, because there was a lot of speculation on, you know, her interview she had with Steve and everything that happened with that. Hopefully her and Steve resolved their issues that they had, and I'm glad that she took the high road even when Steve did lose those 2 TV shows, and that just showed you that she does have compassion for people. So I guess she kind of just was like, you know, Steve in a way was kind of humbled, and he got to be able to see things from her perspective. But I feel like at the end of the day, Monique know what it is. She knows that those people don't really care, like, about that plight. They really just don't. That's just how that is, and that's how they move it, unfortunately. And until she comes to that conclusion, I think that that's just gonna be the story. But eventually, it's like, I feel like this story is going to get old. Like, you know, you constantly talking about this. What are you doing to move forward? Because you do have to leave a legacy for the little ones, but you're not going to leave a legacy through them, though. On their stuff. They're making a legacy for them and theirs, not yours. Keep that in mind. It's KingBritneyChanel. I hope y'all enjoyed my thoughts on this. I talked about some different points of things that Monique said, you know, in some of the interviews. Maybe if I missed something, I can make another video about that if y'all want me to go into more details about things that I could have missed. But I just wanted to give my overview of what I thought about things that Monique said in her opening ups to Comedy Hype. It's KingBritneyChanel. Definitely make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope y'all enjoyed my commentary on this. Hey honeys, make sure you check out my Teespring store, KingBritneyChanel Couture, where we have all the latest merch. And thank you for watching. Thanks for watching my videos, honeys, and please check out my Teespring store. I have something for everyone, and I hope you all enjoy. You all, we have a variety of different apparel, okay? Hoodies, sweatshirts, t-shirts, we have mugs, we have iPhone cases, tote bags. If you have an Android, we have Samsung cases. We have a little bit of everything for everyone. And I just really wanted to share my inspiration for the Kinging Always collection, because I know a lot of you all always ask me, why do you call yourself king? Well, I'm sharing it with you guys. A king is a descendant and a ruler of a divine race. So a woman or a man could be a king, and I just want to share the collections with you all. We have unisex sizes, so just pay attention to the description on the clothing, okay? We have leggings, we have tote bags. It's a variety of things to check out on there. There's different collections like the King Honeybee collection, the Oh Honey collection, the Kinging Always collection, numbers 1 to 3, and then we have the Be Beautiful collection. So I wanted to give my subscribers inspirational things to wear and to feel good about themselves. So definitely check out the KingBritneyChanel Teespring store. You should be seeing the Teespring merchandise pop up on my videos now. And thank you for watching. Thank you for checking out the Teespring store, and I will see y'all on the next video.